Hey guys, I was just looking through some old photos. Speaking of photos, let me tell you about this fabulous photographer I had the great chance of doing research on. Her name is Lois Greenfield. Lois Greenfield is an American photographer born on April 18, 1949 in New York City. She attended school at Brandeis University in Massachusetts. When Lois Greenfield started taking pictures during the late 60s, her dream was to become a photojournalist for National Geographic. After graduating in the 1970s, she started working towards this goal, freelancing for Boston's newspaper, photographing everything from maximum security prison to rock concerts. What is most interesting about Lois Greenfield is the fact that she was neither an expert in photography nor dance when she began taking pictures of dancers. After photographing a dance concert, she was set about mastering the technique of capturing unpredictable moments on stage and discovered she was fantasized with the subject matter. She moved back to New York in 1973 and covered the experimental dance scene for the Village Voice until the mid-90s. In 1982, she decided to open a studio where she could not only control the lighting but also direct the dancers in her own exploration of expressive possibilities of photographed moments. Her unique approach to photographing the human form in motion has radically redefined the genre and influenced a generation of photographers. I recently had the chance to talk with Mrs. Greenfield, and this is what she had to say.
The way someone photographs something, to me, gives me a window into the way they perceive the world. The photographer that inspired me the most back when I was in my 20s and still a newspaper photographer before I did more artistic things was Dwayne Michaels. His goal was to set up a situation, to create a situation, photograph it, and that would be something that only existed as a photograph because it wasn't something that just happened in nature. It was a product of his imagination that he enacted for the photograph. And that idea got lodged in my brain. I wanted to come up with a vision that incorporated the important points of photography as well as dance and make a fusion of the two. And this is slicing time so thin that it's totally imperceptible to the naked eye. We cannot see anything happen in a 2,000th of a second with our eyes, but photography can show it. So it can reveal what is real, but it looks surreal or hyper-real. I like to see what the dancer's innate quality is and the way they move and the spirit that they have, and then I like to shape that because I don't have a cookie-cutter approach and I don't want all my pictures to look the same. I want them to emanate from the individuality of the dancer. But I think what inspires me the most is the fact that when I go in to shoot dancers, I don't have a preconception of what I'm going to end up with. But in the collaboration with the dancer, I find that ideas happen that I haven't thought of. It could be that miracle moment or that accidental moment where they tripped and did it one way or I was super late on my shutter. We say, wow, that's interesting. And then I can build on that. So the point is, the photographic experience for me is not about capturing something that I have in my mind and that I've been dying to shoot, but in the process of how the shoot unfolds so that I end up with a picture that's literally beyond my imagination.
Let's take a look at her photographs in my recreated photos. I used Jasmine Jackson in the mall area, also known as the Senior Caves. I also used my Scooby-Doo blanket as a prop. Greenfield has traded onstage photography of dance for a stark white galaxy of backdrop paper in her New York City studio. She uses high-speed strobe motions to freeze to a surreal cut glass edge. She serves heads or limbs as dancers leap beyond the field of her Hasselblad camera. The resulting sculpture composition, chiseled to 1/500th of a second, suggests a kinetic force rather than strictly ballet grace. Next, you will see a set of photographs that I have taken. I use my photo shoot as an opportunity to understand how Lois Greenfield works. Lois has been an artist in residence of New York University Tisch Department of Dance and New Media. Greenfield was the recipient of the 2015 Dance in Focus Award in recognition of her groundbreaking photography and contributes to the field. Her newest book, Moving Still, will be released in fall 2015.